Hello and thanks for joining us for our mid-morning edition of Arirang News. I'm Mark Broom. Let's dive straight into the day's headlines. Another day, another sharp rise in COVID-19 cases in South Korea. The country's prime minister is heading to Daegu to coordinate efforts to tackle the outbreak in the virus-hit city. We have a comprehensive rundown of the latest. Plus, the next 7 to 10 days are the crunch period for South Korea to get a grip on the COVID-19 outbreak. That's the verdict of experts who are working hand in hand with the government to stem the number of new infections. Our starting point this morning, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases here in South Korea continues to spike. For more details, we are going to connect right away to our Kim Ji-on on the line. Ji-on, the number of COVID-19 related deaths in South Korea increased again on Monday, and the number of confirmed cases continues to rise as well, particularly in the virus-stricken city of Daegu.
That's right, Mark. The number of newly confirmed patients jumped by 231 from the previous day, raising the total number of cases to 833 as of Monday. The majority of the confirmed patients, 682, are from the southeastern region of Daegu and the surrounding Gyeongsang-buk-do province. Meanwhile, more than half of the confirmed cases, at least 456, were traced to members of the Daegu-based religious group Shincheonji. Local authorities said they're stepping up efforts to track down the remaining Shincheonji members for a thorough investigation. They're to release the test results afterwards. According to the Central Disaster Headquarters of the Korea Centers for Disease Control, there's an estimated 215,000 believers of Shincheonji. It said it will receive the personal identification number, phone number, and residence address of the members. Meanwhile, one more death was reported on Monday, raising the number of coronavirus-related deaths in South Korea to 8. The most recent victim was a 67-year-old hospitalized male patient in Daegu. He was previously a patient at Daenam Hospital in the southeastern county of Cheongdo, where the country's first coronavirus death occurred, and it's where at least 113 people have been infected. With this, the number of coronavirus-related deaths that were patients from the Daenam Hospital has risen to 6. And a 61-year-old woman who is a U.S. Forces Korea dependent living in Daegu has tested positive for the virus. This is the first time a USFK-related individual has been confirmed to have the coronavirus. In response, the USFK raised the risk level to high. Meanwhile, 4 more patients recovered on Monday, increasing the number of those who have been discharged to 22. Mark?
Okay, well, some good news there that more than 20 people have been discharged after making a full recovery. But that doesn't stop the fact that South Korea's health authorities are working 24/7 around the clock to try and contain the virus's spread. How are they adapting to this increasingly worrisome situation?
Well, Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun visits the virus-hit city of Daegu later today to lead the government's containment efforts. The previous day, he stressed the importance of speedy preemptive measures to halt the spread as a nation and not just focusing on the worst-affected southeastern regions. But Chung denied speculations the South Korean government is considering banning the entry of Chinese as one of its countermeasures. He also added that realistically, it's nearly impossible to delay the April 15th general elections. Back to you.
Okay, Ji-on, and we'll bring you more updates on the COVID-19 outbreak here in South Korea if we get any more updates on the numbers, and we will be bringing you coverage of the Prime Minister's visit to Daegu as well as we move on through the day. Now, more and more countries are denying or restricting entry to South Koreans following the spike in coronavirus cases here. The sudden entry restrictions have left some tourists with no option but to fly straight back home or force them straight into quarantine, unable to leave for up to 2 weeks sometimes. Park Se-young with more.
More countries are saying no to tourists from South Korea and asking their own citizens to avoid traveling to the country in order to contain the spread of the novel coronavirus. According to Seoul's foreign ministry, 6 countries, Israel, Bahrain, Jordan, Kiribati, Samoa, and American Samoa, are prohibiting entry to foreigners who have been in South Korea within the past 14 days. And as of Monday, 13 other countries, including the UK, Brunei, Kazakhstan, Macau, Singapore, and Thailand, imposed restrictions on those entering from South Korea, such as placing passengers in quarantine or conducting health checks. These countries have also advised their citizens to avoid traveling to South Korea. And the list is only getting longer. Starting Tuesday, all travelers entering Taiwan from South Korea will be quarantined for 14 days. Also from Tuesday, Hong Kong will ban entry to non-residents arriving from South Korea. Mauritius has also officially announced an entry ban on South Koreans. The island on Sunday reportedly stopped 4 South Korean tourists with fevers and transported them to a hospital. The remaining 30 tourists without symptoms were sent to a quarantine facility. The South Korean Foreign Ministry has lodged a protest over the island's move without prior consultations and urged a prompt resolution. In Vietnam, the local government of Da Nang put all people coming from Daegu, including 20 South Koreans, into temporary quarantine at a local hospital on Monday, again without any prior consultations with Seoul. In Ho Chi Minh City, 3 South Koreans from Daegu, 2 of them who are not showing any symptoms, were quarantined. The Vietnamese government has already advised its citizens to refrain from traveling to South Korea, and Vietnam's Bamboo Airways will suspend all flights to South Korea starting Wednesday. Mongolia will halt all flights to and from South Korea from Tuesday until March 2nd. Park Se-young, Arirang News.